So it's been about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks now. It's time to mow this grass after the overseed. You can see in this image, it's getting a little raggedy looking, a little bit long. My mower only cuts at 4 inches, so I can't wait too long and let it grow any much more than what it is. Did have a little setback along the way right on Labor Day here, got extremely hot. Kind of set us back a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it really impacted us like too harshly. And in classic Midwest fashion, as fast as it got hot, it cooled right back down to where it's supposed to be, back down to the 70s with like 50s and 40s at nighttime. So grass is okay. So before I get started on this mow, since it is the first one with the newly seeded grass, I will sharpen the blades. So I got the mower up on the stand, get the blades out, get the deck clean. Personally, I like to sharpen my blades every 3 mows. Doing it that often, you take hardly any metal off at all, and it's super easy just to do it. You get used to it, and it makes it, it only takes like 2 minutes per blade, so it's not really that big of a deal. I also have to sharpen my push mowers blades. When you tip these up on their sides, make sure you put the air filter up. If you put the air filter on the downside, fuel or oil is going to kind of leak into it and just create a mess for you. My tools I like to use, I use a angle grinder, just with a flap disc. It's not too aggressive, but it does a good job. I also have a Dremel tool and a file, so I'll usually just kind of finish up using the Dremel and the file just to make the edge like ultra clean. Always make sure, definitely wear safety glasses when you guys are doing this, and gloves. The blade can get hot if you're having to work it a lot, if you have like a burr or something you're trying to get off, so gloves are important. So after the mow, I do have a couple weeds in the yard, so I'll make sure I hit these up with like some tenacity. I don't like to pull them, because if you pull them, you're just going to leave another open bare spot, so the weeds are just going to go right back into it. So I'll leave the weed, I'll kill the weed, just spot treatments. I'll use tenacity. I also use like a little bit of surfactant, like the liquid lawn aerator, just to get like a better spray. If you have an adjustable throttle on your mower, you're going to want to cut at max speed. So you want the fastest mower blade spin that you can have. It's going to create the most suction. That's going to pull the grass blades nice and straight, and then you'll get the cleanest cut possible. You can see, even though the grass is not quite as thick as it should be, it still has a lot to go as far as growing. The stripes are starting to look good. This is facing into the sun, and we still have like very pronounced stripes with that dark and light. So hopeful for the future. I think this lawn's gonna look good this year. So for this first cut, and for the next probably 2 cuts, I'm gonna do this kind of pattern. I'm gonna do the least impact on the lawn. I don't wanna do like a bunch of turns. I'm just gonna, you see I kind of follow the blue line. So I just kind of like trace the outer edge, do the turnaround on the driveway, and then I go back along the line I just made. So I am still creating an alternating pattern, but my turns, my sharpest turns, are happening on the driveway rather than happening on the lawn. That way I'm not pulling up or tearing at kind of the new grass blades. So here in this photo, I kind of darkened it a little bit. So the grass isn't really like that dark of a green, but I'm emphasizing the south side of my lawn because of that heat over Labor Day. That's heat stress on those edges. So even though I'm watering it, that area still got too hot, kind of began to go dormant. So it'll bounce back, but it's just kind of, this is what happens, you know, when you have a hot day. Stay on the water, it'll come back, but you might have a little bit of heat stress. So coming up, 1 month, fertilize. I'll make a video about that. I do it maybe slightly different than some people, but I'll kind of talk about like different ways that people fertilize and the way I do it. Thanks for watching.